Hello, welcome to the Horror Movie Maniacs podcast, everybody. This is where we chat about horror films and everything horror related. So I'm your host, Ben, and I'm joined by my co-host and all-round amazing guy, Grant.
You're not wrong, if I'm honest. That's probably the most accurate description someone's ever said about me.
Really? I was going to go.
And I'm so perfect that I completely messed up that sentence. So, hello, everyone.
Top guy. Couldn't do this without you, man.
No. Can do it without you, Ben. Stop it.
Right. So, we've got a very special episode lined up this time around.
Yeah, we do.
For our October Halloween episode. We're calling it our Spooky Season Special.
We didn't discuss this.
Did we not?
No, but I love it, so it's fine.
You're just going to come along for the ride, yeah?
Yeah. That's what I'm good for.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So, this one's going to be a little bit different, guys. We asked you lot, as we call you the Maniacs, to help us out. So we asked you to send us clips, videos, audios, etc. Of your top films to get you in the mood for spooky season and the Halloween vibes and that kind of thing. So, and boy, you guys really delivered. Sent us loads of stuff covering over about 60, 65 different movies. So, I can't watch all of those. So,
no.
I've tried to watch a fair few that I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of them. But it's quite a comprehensive list. So some real crackers on there, I would say.
But just for that intro alone, Ben, insert explosion noise. There you go, Ben. That was just for you.
Great explosion. Thank you.
Unreal. It's almost like we knew it was coming.
Yeah, I know. How weird.
And that's a live explosion. That wasn't put in afterwards. That just happened.
Just perfect timing, mate, as always. More explosion noises later.
Yeah.
Maybe get some fireworks in there as well.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, real explosion. Not explosion, fireworks.
We'll see what we can do. Right, so this one is going to be a little bit longer than our usual episodes, so bear with us, guys. Also, there will be spoilers. So yes, this is your spoiler warning.
Warning.
Firstly, I want to say thank you also to everyone, especially some of our overseas fans. I remember especially a lady from Australia. Who is in Australia listening to us talk rubbish? Either way, I love it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Unreal. We need to go to Australia, tour.
Yeah, it's tour the world.
Got one fan in Australia. Please turn up.
That's it.
But I'd seen quite a few of these.
That's good. Yeah, I thought you would have, to be fair, because you've seen quite a lot of stuff, haven't you? You've seen a lot more than I have.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a horror buff, but
it's fair to say. No, yeah, man. We've just seen different types of horror or different eras of horror, I suppose.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
I think, probably more different eras, isn't it? I'm sort of 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I love the new stuff.
Yeah. So, right, there we go. So, shall we get cracking with the first set of clips?
Oh, yeah, we bloody will.
All right, here we go.
Hello, it's Phil from the Horror Project podcast here. A few of my spooky films to get me in the spirit for Halloween. I'll kick off with Hocus Pocus. Yes, it's perfectly nostalgic. It's got witches, it's got pumpkins, it's got trick-or-treating, everything I want. I'll follow up with a little bit of Sleepy Hollow for those gothic, spooky Tim Burton autumnal vibes. It's got a headless horseman. It's got Christina Ricci in a blonde wig, which is terrifying. Something a little more recent for my final choice. I'll choose Late Night with the Devil. It captures that thing, on TV tries to celebrate Halloween and it's a bit tacky, but the film's pretty spooky. Happy Halloween to Ben, Grant, and all your listeners. Have a good one.
Hello, this is Tara.
And Chris.
And we're from Page to Scream. Now, we're going to tell you something very quickly about our favourite Halloween films.
Number 1, The Blair Witch Project. Got a witch, woods, October, what more could you want?
Number 2, Beetlejuice. But
don't say it 3 times.
Better not say any more. So we love Beetlejuice at Halloween because it's all about the dead and the living coexisting in one space. And isn't that what Halloween is all about?
Halloween is all about. And number 3, Sleepy Hollow, pumpkins galore.
What more can you say? So those are our favourite Halloween picks.
Happy Halloween.
Hey horror movie maniacs, I'm Orange Blah Blah from Neopopes. My favorite movie to watch around Halloween is Tim Burton's Ed Wood. Okay, so it's not a horror movie, but it is about classic horror films. It has a Halloween spirit showing people who are spooky, weird, and who love to play dress up.
Hi, my name is Lenny, and this is my submission for the Horror Movie Maniacs podcast. The 3 films that I am going to be watching over the Halloween season include A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is showing on my local cinema. It's a very good slasher, probably not one of my favourites, but still very enjoyable, and I love Freddy Krueger. The second film is going to be The Shining, which is my favourite movie of all time. Very atmospheric, very amazing. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And my third movie is going to be slightly after Halloween, but showing my local cinema on the November 15th, An American Werewolf in London. Probably my second favourite movie of all time, my favourite werewolf movie of all time, and it's got probably the best practical effects I've ever seen in a movie. Thank you so much, Horror Movie Maniacs, for having me on this podcast. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hey guys, I'm Lewis Santa, and I play Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. And my go-to horror films for the spooky season is It, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, the Bill Skarsgård version. I just adore what he did with that character, and ever since the first day I watched it, I've just been in love with just what he did. And my other go-tos are Nightmare on Elm Street, like all of them, the classic ones, and even the remake. I know it's controversial, but I also am a big fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake as well. And obviously Pennywise and Freddy Krueger were also massive inspirations for Tigger. That's probably why those movies have a special place in my heart. But obviously my all-time favourite has got to be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you've already seen it, then why not rewatch it? I mean, come on, it's Halloween. But yeah, anyway, cheers guys, have a good Halloween, and always remember, you better watch where you're going, bitch.
Happy Halloween, Horror Movie Maniacs. This is Vanessa, sometimes contributor at Movie Joe Podcast and regular contributor at So-Called X-Files Podcast. At Halloween, I like to watch Scream because it's my favourite horror movie ever, and it really got me into horror movies in the first place. I like to watch The Omen because it's creepy religious creepiness featuring a creepy child, so all the good things. And I like to watch Nightmare on Elm Street because Freddy Krueger is the best slasher villain of all time. Have a great Halloween. Bye.
Okay, so there's our first load of clips. Some pretty cool films. A lot of stuff mentioned there. So we'll quickly whip through some of them, and then one or two we'll go more in depth. And some of the movies we won't mention right now, but we will talk about them later on, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Lovely stuff. All right, so the ones we'll talk about later then. So Hocus Pocus, American Werewolf in London, and The Shining. We'll definitely have a bit more of a deeper chat about those later, because as you can imagine, they come up a little bit more, yeah? So
don't know why.
Also Scream, we'll move on to that in a little bit. One of my faves. Oh, shut up.
I haven't done well this Halloween.
No, you haven't. You've struggled at times, haven't you, with these movies? But
yeah,
we'll come on to that. So, right. So let's crack on with, say, The Omen.
Oh yes. What are we talking? The original?
Yeah, the original from the 70s, I believe. Yeah. So just a couple of lines about this one, really, because there is one out of this lot that came up more than the rest that I want to talk about. So,
yes.
The Omen, I remember having a really cool soundtrack.
Right.
A pretty cool 70s sort of vibe to it. And then some really good kills, actually, in The Omen. So have you seen it? Do you remember any of it?
Nope.
I didn't get time to rewatch. I didn't get time to rewatch this one.
I've seen the remakes, but I haven't seen the original. I like the remakes. I think
maybe some of the kills are similar. So one of them, there's two I remember that really stick out. There's one where like a pole on top of a church falls off the roof and like impales the vicar guy.
I swear that was it in the Russell Crowe movie Exorcist recently? I swear something like exactly like that happens.
Yeah, possibly. I haven't seen that. I don't know. And then the second kill was like a truck with a sheet of glass on it, and it starts rolling back, and then the sheet of glass comes flying off the truck and decapitates someone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's kind of, I felt like a bit of inspiration for Final Destination films later on. It felt
exactly what I thought when you said that.
Because a
70s film, that sounds good. Oh, poor kid.
Well, no, in Final Destination 2. I mean, with the glass.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that might have been Final Destination's callback to that. kill scene in The Omen, which is a really
maybe.
good kill.
Yeah, I mean that's got quite a sound. They sound good for something done in the 70s for sure.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I watched a quick clip of them just to refresh, but like I say, I didn't get time to rewatch the whole film. But it is one I do want to revisit because I'm actually interested in watching the first Omen, which came out this year, I believe.
Yeah, I like that one. I enjoyed that.
Good. I haven't yet watched that, so I think I'll go with the Omen to refresh myself when I get time, and then do the first Omen.
You freshen up, mate.
Yeah. Right. What else was mentioned? Blair Witch Project.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, it is indeed one of my favourites. I think it's one of yours as well, isn't it?
Ditto. And even I love the 2000. No, wait, have I got that wrong? No, I'm thinking Evil Dead. Yeah, Blair Witch was sick. I do like the remake as well, but yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah. See, I'm not so keen on the remake, but
it's not as good, but I still enjoy it.
No. It's a valid attempt, but I suppose it felt like we've seen it before because we had. I suppose.
Yeah, true. Blair Witch 2 though can go away forever. I know you like that one, but I still don't get how because it's just horrendous.
I'm not going to say right now because we are actually planning a whole Blair Witch episode, aren't we?
Yeah.
You seem like you didn't know there, but you know,
we are
encompassing all three movies, I believe. Grant, wink, wink. God.
So I hear.
So you hear on the grapevine. Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah.
So including the absolutely brilliant Book of Shadows 2.
It's just not good though, is it? It's just not good.
Not telling you.
God. However, the first one, unbelievable.
Unbelievable, absolute classic film. Yeah.
One of the greatest of all time, I'd say.
A lot of people say this started the found footage craze, don't they, Blair Witch? But there was actually a film. No, it didn't.
No, what I was going to say was there's probably some, but this one was the first one that was like made it big, I think.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I think Blair Witch was the one that was popular, wasn't it? So
yeah, everyone was talking about it. That snot scene, she's like, all alone. Snot coming out of her. Iconic.
Yeah, I agree.
And the geezer standing in the corner. That's inspiration for some other things that we're working on.
Yeah, I really like that. I know a lot of people hate the ending, but the geezer in the corner was great. Yeah,
it's unbelievable ending. Horrific.
Let's save it. Let's save it for another time.
Yeah,
got about 70 million films to get through.
Yeah, moving on.
Which is great.
Wait, what was the movie that came before Blair Witch? We can't move on from that.
The Last Broadcast.
Never heard of it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's about the Jersey Devil. It's just decent.
That is.
Okay, so Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, I like that. Well,
oh no,
it was average to me.
Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know. It just didn't hit the mark.
No,
it was good. I'd watch it again, but it's not. If you told me I could never watch it again, I'd be fine.
Okay, yeah, I get you. I really enjoyed this one. For me, this is up there with one of the best of the year. No, don't say that. I really bought into that 70s vibe. Maybe I just like 70s. I don't know.
You do like old stuff, don't you?
Yeah, really bought into the 70s vibe. I thought it pulled you in. The host of the show, I thought was charismatic and kept me listening, kept me watching. And then just all the sort of strange paranormal incidents that started happening really intrigued me. So yeah.
No, I liked it. I just I don't know. I feel like it was almost there.
I really hope, though, that they don't do a sequel or prequel or anything. Just leave it as it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not phased either way, to be honest. But...
No, I know you're not. But no, for me, brilliant. Grant, you're wrong. Anyway.
For me, it was average. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just average.
No, I know. Yeah, that's good. I think we're going to disagree a lot on this one, which is good, actually. So
yeah, we are.
Although we don't have 6 hours to, argue and stuff. But
we do that off air.
Yeah, have a fight.
Yeah.
Anyway, Beetlejuice.
Yep, that's a huge one. Love that film.
Oh, finally. Good.
Hang on a minute. I love Blair Witch.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Point. Yeah.
No, Beetlejuice is a classic. It's its own thing. There's not a lot, really, you can say about it. It's Beetlejuice. It's class.
Yeah, it's just quality Tim Burton, isn't it, really? It's everything.
I also didn't mind the new one, Beetlejuice.
See, I haven't watched that yet. That's on my list, but I've had to rewatch so many movies for this.
Yeah, true. It's definitely got nothing on the original, but I enjoyed it. It was a little bit more family friendly, I'd say.
Okay, I've heard it's kind of more of the same, and a few of the characters weren't needed and that kind of thing. But
yeah, like the shock, not the shock. Some of the scary scenes in the original, it's not as bad in the new one.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Which is good because I tried to get my 8-year-old to watch it, and it was a bit much.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. The original has got some creepy bits in, hasn't it? Actually, so
unbelievable film.
Yeah,
classic.
But I'm glad you said that because I agree. And strangely, Tara and Chris were the only two people that mentioned this. Nobody
Madness.
else has mentioned Beetlejuice as a spooky season film.
But there's a few ones on here that haven't
There
been
is.
mentioned that we'll cover later that I'm in shock of.
Yeah, definitely. But Beetlejuice, I thought, would be right up there. It literally encompasses everything gothic and spooky.
Yeah. It's a classic. I love it.
We love it.
We do.
And talking of Tim Burton movies then. So Sleepy Hollow came up a few times on this section. Are you a fan of
long time? I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. I tried to get around to watching it, but I didn't get the time. From what I remember, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the whole gothic-y, posh speaking Johnny Depp. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so it's been a while since I've seen this as well, but I do remember quite liking it. No surprise there, really, I suppose.
Obviously.
I do feel I'm a bit more lenient on movies than you are.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get onto another movie in a minute, but no. Just no.
So yeah, Sleepy Hollow. See, I loved that gothic vibe again. Tim Burton brought his gothic stylings and stuff, didn't he? He brought Johnny Depp along. I
didn't dislike it. I just can't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, he teams up with Depp quite a lot on movies, doesn't he? And then Christina Ricci was in it as well.
Yeah,
yeah, perfectly fine, fun film. I think there is some other English actors in it. I can't recall their names, but there's quite a lot of people you'd recognise if you went back and watched this one.
Yeah, you find that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, one thing that did irk me slightly, I believe when I watched it a while back, the blood looks orange.
Orange?
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I might be
Halloween.
wrong. I might be wrong. But it had a real orange, gloopy, thick kind of look to it. Now, maybe that is to keep the certificate down. I don't know, because it's a 15, but there is a lot of beheadings and stuff, obviously, with the headless horseman running around. So
I remember that scene iconically where he's running from the distance. Not running, he's on his horsey.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your point. I just went off there. Yes, orange blood.
I think so. If I'm wrong, you can all correct me. But
just a shy copy you were watching.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Probably watching it on dodgy old VHS.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So I'm a big fan of Sleepy Hollow. I know you're.
Yeah. No, I don't. I can't remember it enough, if I'm honest. I remember not. I remember enjoying it. So we'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Right. What else have we got on the list? We have It Chapter 1 and 2. So the modern take on it, not the 1990s one with Tim Curry, which is, for me, iconic.
It's definitely better than the new ones. I can't believe I've just said that, but it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, what? You like an early 90s film? Bloody hell.
I do.
But I do. It Chapter 1 and 2. What are your thoughts on these? Did you like Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise?
Yeah, I think he was great. So It Chapter 1, brilliant film, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hated number 2.
Okay.
And the only reason I hated number 2 was because they defeated him with mean words. And I was just like, oh, you've immediately lost it.
Yeah, but isn't that
it's just not scary anymore?
But
no,
isn't that
you
how
said
it
mean
goes?
things. Boring.
Yeah, but isn't that what they do in the original? Oh no.
Yeah, but it's just different, isn't it? They're just like, oh, it's like, oh, no.
Yeah, but that's it. They're not scared anymore. So he's weak.
Don't care. Didn't like it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, first one. Skarsgård, unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Part 1, I absolutely loved.
Mm-hmm.
I think the opening scene where George's boat goes down the down the drain. There you go.
Down the drain, yeah.
He gets his arm pulled off. Is really bloody scary, to be honest.
The first one's proper scary.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, it set the tone for the rest of the film. Really good. I thought Skarsgård did a great job.
Yeah, did a really good job.
A lot of people these days, you say Pennywise, they think of his version. So
yeah, most people will, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he must have done a good job.
Movie buff.
Stuck in people's minds. But for me, it'll always be Tim Curry. But yeah, I can see why. Part 2,
it's iconic, really good.
Yeah, part 2, I didn't enjoy it as much. I didn't think it needed to be nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah, it just went on.
They could have definitely trimmed it down, and I didn't like the bit at the start as well, either. But all in all, not a bad pairing. I suppose if one or two balances each other out to make a.
Yeah, I still enjoyed the second one. It was just when it. I just remember distinctively thinking, really.
Yeah, part 1's better.
But that's probably just me.
Yeah, the Spider Pennywise thing looked way better though than it did in the original.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll give him that. So
Yeah,
cool.
in terms of scariness, top notch.
Yeah,
Top notch.
Top notch. Okay, you're right. We've got a couple more.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey from our new friend Tigger.
Oh, hate it.
Hang on.
Rubbish.
Let me correct myself. Hold on. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
2.
You wouldn't be promoting the first one.
Tigger is not in the first one. Yes. So, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Fun film, just as fun as the first.
Yeah, loved it. I still think, I really enjoyed the second one. I was going to go deep, but it's not. There's nothing deep to go about.
I don't think we need to go deep on this. You know what you're getting with these types of films. You're getting crazy over the top kills and exactly. Yeah. I did notice though, and Lewis mentioned it in his clip there, that Freddy and Pennywise were influences for his portrayal of Tigger. And I did that. Yeah. I didn't pick up on the Pennywise one. Sorry, Lewis, if you're listening, but I did pick up on the Freddy influence.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
Yeah,
even the way he talked, like he only has a couple of lines, but
yeah, and then especially his use of the word bitch, quite a lot.
Bitch.
So yeah, and then what was that one? There was a really good one about, was it "You can't hide from me, you fluorescent bitch" or something like that, or something like that.
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought that as well funny. So
yeah, it's good fun. Tigger, and even though he's our best mate now, Tigger was a great character.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to see more of him. So.
Hell yeah, we are. Hopefully.
Excellent.
Right. Great film.
Probably better speed it up a little bit, as like I say, it's going to be 10 hours long.
Get on with it then.
A couple more then. Edward, I watched recently. I hadn't seen this before. You didn't like this one at all, did you?
Nope, didn't like it one bit.
No, but for me, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the sort of look at the friendship between Ed and Bela Lugosi. So I thought the guy playing Bela Lugosi was great. I really enjoyed, seeing how their friendship blossomed, basically. And I do enjoy the older horror films as well, whereas I know you're not a lover of the older stuff.
So. I mean, it's not horror.
No, it's not horror, but it's horror adjacent because there was a lot of horror actors and stuff in there. So
yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's a well-made movie. I just found it boring.
No,
sorry.
Enough. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Not one I could see myself watching regularly. But I'm glad I've seen it, and it was very good. Again, Tim Burton and Johnny Depp there teaming up.
Yeah, so. I think even though I know the black and white thing was on purpose, and I don't mind it when people try things like that, that put me off a bit.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't really find myself getting into it. I don't know. I don't know. Well-made movie, just not for me.
I could definitely see it not being a film for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're into filmmaking, if you're into those old style Universal monster movies and stuff, I think you get a lot out of it. So yeah, there you go. Absolutely. I liked it. You didn't. That's fair.
No.
Right. Let's move on to the big one then, shall we? Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
You know, you're fine with that.
You're going to say something else then?
No. You're happy with that. So
love Halloween. Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't love Halloween. Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's for another day. But Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously an absolute classic.
Yeah, absolutely classic.
Wes Craven's kind of horror classic, and it come out in 1984.
You can't really argue with how decent it is, can you? Sorry, I interrupted you again.
It's all right.
You carry on. 84.
84. Yeah. Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger, the Dream Demon. I mean, what a genius idea that is. How scary is it that, something you have to do? Obviously, all humans have to go to sleep at some point, and the demon can only get you when you're asleep.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that in a good way. Yeah. It made me just nervous. And I think if you're a kid watching this, somehow you managed to watch it back in the 80s as a young kid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have slept for months.
I didn't, but it was petrifying. Absolutely petrifying. See, when this came out, I was only 3 years old. So I did not see it when I was 3 years old. But my first encounter with Nightmare on Elm Street, or my first encounter with Freddy, was the Dream Warriors. So number 3. Saw it around a friend's house who was older than me and thought it'd be hilarious to show it to me. And well, while hilarious for him, absolutely petrified me for fucking months on end. So yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the third one.
It's really
good.
Hot
take though. I did like the relaunch they did, however long ago that was.
See, I'm surprised at that.
I enjoyed it. I like newer stuff, don't I?
I think it was 2010 maybe?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. I know people hate it, but do you know what I find with a lot of movie fans?
Go on.
Is that if they ever redo like an old one, the people that love the original probably hate the new one.
Yeah, I get it. I can kind of see why. You have such a love for something that when it's changed up a little bit or it's slightly different, it's just not the same, is it?
I think that can cloud people's judgment a little bit, as in like it's not the same, therefore I hate it. Well, it might actually just be a good film.
Yeah, I mean, do you know, I'm not fully against the remake. I don't enjoy the portrayal of Freddy in it. I think I like the actor who played him, but I don't think he was the right choice for Freddy Krueger. Or maybe they just portrayed him wrong because they make him look really small.
Yeah, I think that kind of worked though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going off on a tangent here. The original.
Yeah, well, we're talking. Yeah,
Classic.
sorry, the original. Iconic music, obviously. The old tune, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, etc.
Oh yeah. That still goes around, doesn't it?
The kills, man, the kills as well. Tina up on the ceiling, getting dragged about all over the place.
Yeah,
absolutely grim. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see. There's a documentary about how they made them all and stuff. Never Sleep Again. I need to watch that at some point. But yeah,
I like the gooey stairs.
Yes, I was going to say. I thought you'd bring up the gooey stairs. Yeah.
I remember that from being a kid, and that's the only part I remembered of it until I watched it again recently.
You surely remembered the old the mum getting grabbed through the window at the end, and it just looked like a blow up doll.
It was just so unnecessary as well.
yeah, absolutely terrible effects there. But again, I suppose it was 84.
But she was a terrible actress as well. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, you get Johnny Depp's first ever film.
Yeah, he was decent in it. I liked him.
Yeah, he gets dragged through the bed and then spat up all everywhere, doesn't he? So,
do you know what I do like about this movie is how they make you believe the blonde lady, I don't know her names, the blonde lady is going to be the main girl in it, and then she swiftly dies and it moves on to the friend. I really love the way they did that.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
it.
see that often.
I think it was Tina, wasn't it? They set it up as Tina, I think, to start with, and then she gets that horrific kill. And then it switches over to Nancy, who obviously is one of the then iconic final girls.
Yeah, but I just like the way they kind of mislead you a bit.
Yeah, no, it's very good. Yeah, very different.
Lovely film.
Also, this film has that really iconic scene where Nancy's in the bath, not to sound weird or anything, and then Freddy's glove comes up through the water.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the camera shot is literally, you know what the camera shot is.
They don't even let you enjoy sleeping in a bath anymore.
No, exactly. You can't sleep anywhere. That's the whole thing.
Jesus Christ, man.
So absolutely huge lover of Nightmare on Elm Street as a whole, Freddy Krueger as a whole, even the crappy sequels, not so much the remake for me.
No, that's fair.
But
they'll probably do another one soon, won't they?
Yeah, I'd imagine. Who would you cast as Freddy?
Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, what's his name? Tom Hiddleston. There you go.
Tom Hiddleston. Okay, interesting choice. Yeah,
different approach, but I reckon it'd be spooky.
I can't think of anyone young or sort of that modern or hip, but I think Kevin Bacon could do a good job.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it's been. I know that's online quite a bit that a lot of people like to see him playing, but yeah, I think it'd
maybe
that
could work.
He's creepy in Hollow Man.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyway,
maybe even Skarsgård could have a go at it. To be fair.
Yeah, just get him as every horror villain.
He'd probably do all right. To be fair, though.
Skarsgård, I think, would be decent actually. Yeah,
not
a good shout. No, not the Crow, but that's definitely for another day or not at all.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Yeah, so I think Nightmare on Elm Street actually kind of leads quite nicely into our next set of clips. So,
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I know you know what I'm going to say because we've planned it. So,
shall I just not bother for this part?
Well, you just want me prattling on for 10 minutes.
Let you talk, and every now and again I go, yeah.
Maybe. Right, let's roll the clips.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Crane and I play Jamie in Dark of Horror's new movie How to Kill Monsters. And the films I love watching the most around Halloween are definitely the Scream films. It's my absolute favourite franchise. I think they just have everything in that you could want from a horror movie. And Sidney Prescott is my absolute favourite final girl. I think she's fantastic. And the other movie I love watching around Halloween, purely for nostalgic reasons and very, very different, is Hocus Pocus. Because it's just so much fun and it is the perfect Halloween movie.
Hello there, my name is Alice from Drunken Horror Podcast, and my favourite movies to watch during the Halloween period are any form of slasher movies. I think particularly the Scream movies are my favourite to get cosy with, but I also love some of the absolute kind of childhood classics like Hocus Pocus and Ghostbusters. always get me warm and cozy, ready for the spooky season.
Okay, right. So I'm quite excited about this one. Yeah, I know
I'm
you're
not.
No, I know. So shall we start with? There's only a few films on that one, right? Hocus Pocus we'll chat about later.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one. Just for the
Building the
record.
suspense into that one. There you go.
Yeah.
So Ghostbusters.
I like Ghostbusters.
I am pleased to hear it.
I like every single one, even the newer ones. Surprise.
Nice.
Even the one with all the ladies.
Good. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Look, we're agreeing on something. That's brilliant.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all great.
Yeah, I took the missus to see that one at the cinema. She's not a lover of the cinema, but for some reason she did agree to come along and see this, and we both really enjoyed it. Actually,
I think they're great.
The Lady Ghostbusters one, it's good fun.
I think Chris Hemsworth is amazing in it.
Yeah, so out of all the women, you've chosen dude.
No, but I like all, but he was proper funny.
Yeah, no, he was good. And who's the? I don't know the name of the woman. I think she plays Crazy Barbie in Barbie as well.
I haven't seen Barbie.
But I thought she was really funny in the Ghostbusters one.
Is she the slim blonde one?
Yeah, has the glasses on occasionally, I think.
She's from SNL. I don't know her name though, but yeah.
Was she in Bridesmaids? I think maybe.
No,
no, that's one of the other ones, wasn't it?
That's Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so no, not that one. Then the other one.
Yeah, she's from SNL. She's very good. She's very funny. She was a very funny Justin Bieber impersonation.
Really? I'll have to look that up.
It's funny.
Anyways, not that Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, which again was that also 1984?
Like I'm going to know that
off the top of my head. It might be.
I do remember going to the convention with you recently, and they had the giant portrait there.
They did, and they had the Sussex Ghostbusters as well.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they?
All in their outfits with their proton packs, which is great. So
good on them.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the original Ghostbusters. Again, a bit of a classic, isn't it? The library scene used to scare me, where the woman's like, shh, shh, and then screams. You got the classic Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at the end.
Yep, he scared me for a long time. I love Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Sigourney.
Bill Murray's great. Sigourney's great.
An old tangent here, but have you ever seen Young Sheldon, the TV series?
No.
The grandma of Sheldon in it is the receptionist from Ghostbusters, but it took me like 2 seasons to figure it out.
Oh, nice.
She doesn't have that squeaky voice like she does in the first one. I was like, oh, shit, it's her.
Do you know, I just presumed that's how she talked. That's bad of me, isn't it? But
yeah, that's not her voice.
Wow. Nice little fact.
Yep, absolute classic.
Slashers in general. How'd you feel about slashers?
Don't like them.
I didn't think you did. Yeah, I didn't think you did. Any particular reason?
That's all I've got to say. No, I don't like predictability, and I think all slashers are predictable.
That's fair. Yeah,
they are. Would you count Freddy as a slasher or not? I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah, I would.
I like him.
Okay, but slashers as a trope, as a subgenre, you're not a lover.
I'm never in a rush. So I'll watch them. Sure. Like I enjoyed. We'll go into these, but I enjoyed Scream 5. That was good.
Okay.
I don't hate them, but they're just, if I know something's coming out as a slasher, I'm immediately not as excited.
See, I'm the opposite. For me, slashers are comfort movies. Basically, I can chuck on a slasher film. No, you know what I mean. You can switch your brain off a little bit. You know there's going to be usually gross, gory kills and some kind of whodunit sort of thing. And then usually what I really like, they're normally an hour and a half or less.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Which in my eyes is top class because I'm old and there is a high chance I will fall asleep if it's any longer. So if I don't watch it in the day. So they're just usually very fast paced, very fun, very over the top, gory. So yeah, I like them. Okay, so I stuck this one in nice and early because I know you'd hate it, but I love it. So
she said.
Fucking hell. Scream. Wes Craven's Scream. How do you feel about that?
Don't like them.
I know.
No, I don't mind Scream. I did. Obviously, the first one's a classic, and I do actually enjoy the latest one.
Number 6.
6. I just think people go on them about too much. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's good. I just don't think it's that good.
Don't be sorry. You say number 1's a classic, though, but do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember the first one very well.
Okay, good. That's what we'll chat about then.
He's phoning Drew, what's her name? Drew what? Barrymore?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
Where he's phoning her, and iconic.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
That's it. So Scream, done that whole mega star at the beginning, but then tricks you into thinking that she's going to be the final girl, doesn't it? And then kills her
Yep,
off within
yep.
the first 10 minutes. So
Yeah, very well done.
yeah, very clever. But like you say, Craven had done that before on a kind of
Yeah, very true.
smaller
Yeah.
scale. But Craven had done that in Nightmare on Elm Street, just in a sort of more
Yeah.
subtle way.
Didn't think about that. Yeah.
Didn't sort of have the big star getting killed, but just had the main character getting killed. So yeah,
Yeah, and she obviously didn't last very long, did she? As well as in Nightmare on Elm Street, she's in it for a bit longer.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but obviously at the time, Drew Barrymore, like you say, is a massive star. So to kill her off in a
Was she big
really
at the time?
yeah.
Actually, fair enough. I believe you.
Yeah, to be killed off in that fashion as well, where she was literally disemboweled and then hung from the tree.
I kind of want to go back and watch that now.
You don't see it. Well, you see her hanging from the tree, but you don't see the
Yeah, no, I
actual
mean, I just want to go back and I kind of want to go back and watch the original again now.
good. Yeah, you do.
I won't though.
How dare you? Yeah, so no, Scream for me is massive because it came out at a time I was 15 and I tried to get in to see it at the cinema.
Yeah.
Film was an 18 and I got turned away. So
Shame.
it was the hype for this film was huge.
That was the universe trying to tell you not to bother.
Yeah, the hype was massive, wasn't it, for this? It was hailed
Yeah,
as,
it was, yeah.
one of the scariest, goriest slashers around.
To be fair, it was at the time.
Yeah, it was, but it was also very clever. So yeah, obviously I was gutted I couldn't get in to see it. I eventually got hold of a VHS copy and watched it, and yeah, and there you go, fell in love with it. So
I weirdly remember Sydney's bedroom door and wardrobe. I don't know why. You know, she opens her wardrobe and it blocks the door.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that or even now it's so vivid. I don't know why.
I just don't think I've really seen that before in anything else.
No, it's just such an odd mechanic, but it worked. It was great.
Yeah, no, it did. It did.
Do you reckon they found that bedroom and were like, oh, we could do that? Or they went in thinking, we need to do this?
I've got no idea. That's on you to find out.
We'll have to ask Wes.
You have to ask Wes.
Yeah.
That'd be a bit tricky, mate. You're going to do a seance.
Ouija board.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, there's absolutely tons I could say about this film, but I'm not going to. Obviously, everyone knows how much I love it. Yeah, I was going to sound boring or I'm rigid, but there's a few interesting facts. There's a couple of Nightmare on Elm Street connections.
Is there now?
Yeah, so Tatum wears a very similar top to what Johnny Depp wears at one point in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Righto.
It's like the hockey jersey with a number on.
Yeah.
You've got Skeet Ulrich acted a bit like Johnny Depp, I would say, and he was tipped to be kind of the next Johnny Depp, wasn't he? At one point.
Yeah.
Probably. So I mean that didn't happen, obviously, but you've got Wes Craven cameo. So
yes,
the school principal, he's mucking around with the mask and stuff, and then he hears some kids outside or whatever being dicks, and he opens the door and he shouts something out, and then the janitor turns around. He's like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Not you. Does he say not you, Wes, or something?" And it is actually Wes Craven, but he's wearing Freddy Krueger's jumper and hat while he's mopping the floor.
I like that.
So yeah, so that's quite a cool connection, I think, as well.
That is a cool connection. I also like Scary Movie because that was heavily inspired by Scream, especially where he like stabs Carmen Electra's breast implant out of her chest.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Again, I was going to leave that to omissions, but that's a film I thought might pop up actually because it's a fun one, but nobody mentioned.
I mean, they kind of went weird, didn't they? But
but
there's some really iconic, like Strong Hand, Take My Strong Hand.
Yeah, but the first one was ripping the piss mostly out of Scream and the other slashers, wasn't it? So
yeah, but I just remember that implant scene. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Sidney Prescott went on to become one of the best, if not the best, final girl.
I wouldn't say she was the best, but she's definitely one of them.
Because she's in most of the films, isn't she? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. No, don't get me wrong, absolute legend. I just don't know if she's the best.
And she's returning for Scream 7.
Is she now?
Yeah, which I imagine you're not even bothered at all about.
Well, I enjoyed 6, and I'm not a fan of Jenny Ortega being in goddamn everything at the minute. I've got nothing against her. I just hate it when they overdo it with an actor or an actress.
Yeah, I agree.
But I liked her in Scream, so if it does it again and it works, then great. But
yeah, I mean,
they're just putting her in everything in a minute. It's just
that story's done now, so she won't be in the next one.
Oh,
but,
good. Well, no, again, but do you know what I mean? Like they've picked these actresses, and then they're just in everything.
Yeah, no, I
Like, she
agree,
did.
mate. I know.
No one cared until she was in Wednesday, and then now everything.
Yeah, I saw her originally in You. You
Oh,
know
she
that?
and you.
Yeah, so that's
Didn't
where I
know that.
first saw her. But
I remember her from Yes Day, some terrible kids movie.
no idea. Oh, also,
That's-
wasn't she in one of the? She's at the end of one of the Insidious films.
Oh yeah, she isn't she? Yeah, with the
Yeah,
I can't remember her name, but the old lady.
yeah, Lin Shaye.
That's it.
She knocks
Yeah,
on someone's door, doesn't she? And when the parents open,
yeah,
the kids Jenna Ortega. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, Scream. I know you
Scream!
don't want to talk about it.
No, I
I
don't.
think Matthew Lillard, who played Stu, went on to be a bigger star than Skeet Ulrich, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So he's in Scooby Doo, wasn't he?
I love Scooby Doo.
But no, he went on. He seems to be much more popular, and than poor old Skeet.
Oh, Skeet.
So, but obviously Stu, I mentioned that because Stu was seen as kind of the silly sort of sidekick, wasn't he? Billy. Billy was like the brains of the two.
Yeah,
Stu
yeah.
was obviously just a tag along kind of,
What's Stu?
Yeah. So, but I think the music in here is great. Ghostface also did seem like quite a viable threat, a big slasher villain. But then, the more you go on, they get a little sillier. He falls over a lot more in the later ones and stuff, So, but for such a
he's a dick in Dead by Daylight.
Yes, he is. Yeah, probably the best killer.
Goddamn hate people to play as Ghostface.
Sorry, that's me.
Oh.
But yes, I mean, Ghostface has gone on to become an iconic slasher villain, but yet it's always somebody different. You have your Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, always the same person. Ghostface is always someone different. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
That's an interesting little caveat, I think.
Yeah,
I think
loved it.
Screen films always have a fun opening. Obviously, the first one set the example. Yeah, they always have the big kill at the start. Well, usually, apart from one of them, I think. I think Courtney Cox is fun in it as Gail Weathers.
David I like Gail Weathers. She's cool. Yeah.
David Arquette as Dewey. He's a laugh.
Dewey.
So, I think the characters are great in the first one.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's really good.
I know the second one gets a lot of love as well, but I'm not as fond of the second one.
I can't remember the other ones, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Remember one and six.
I still think it's a decent film, but not a patch on number one. So I'd
go back and watch them again, but I won't.
I could probably watch Scream every week and not get bored.
Really?
Yeah, mate, I love it. I truly love it. So,
I don't, compared to another film we're going to talk about in a minute, I don't mind Scream.
Okay.
I don't hate it, but it wouldn't be something I'd sit down to watch.
Yeah, that's
But there's another film that we're going to talk about in a minute that I will absolutely boycott.
Okay, that's enough of me prattling on about Scream anyway. Maybe I'll cover that one day. Maybe the whole franchise.
You do it on your own.
Bore you rigid, Grant.
Do your own sub podcast and talk about Scream.
Yeah. Oh, I think people would get bored by the amount I could say about those films. But
I can tell you they would.
How dare you? Anyways, on to the next clips.
Hi, Ben and Grant. This is Kate from Australia, and I think I've finally narrowed down my choices for Halloween. I first saw Hell House LLC about 5 years ago, and whilst I love the whole franchise, the first one still creeps me out every time I watch it, and it's become a real Halloween staple for me. I also like to pick something a bit lighter and funny, sort of buffer the scary. So my favourite is probably Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or What We Do in the Shadows. And finally, I know it's pretty cliche, but Halloween from 1978, I have to watch that every Halloween. And the last few years I've been including the 2018 Halloween as like a double feature. They obviously go really well together. Thanks so much. I really enjoy your podcast and can't wait to hear everyone else's choices.
Hello, my name is Angèle and I'm from Bells of Horror podcast. The movie I choose to get excited for fall is Ginger Snaps. This movie is a great fall movie. It has a great commentary on The Curse. It's a Canadian movie, and you have Catherine Isabelle, an actress I enjoy. One of my favorite activities to do during spooky season is haunted attractions. So a movie I watch in October is Hell House LLC. I love found footage as you feel like you are part of the scare, especially this one as it's happening in a haunted house attraction.
Okay, so there's Kate, our Australian fan. So yeah, big up
Hey!
Australia. Whoop, whoop, that's it. Yeah, cool. So
Roo.
there you go. We're getting world famous, Grant, like we say.
Australia, what are you doing listening to our podcast in Australia?
Oh, I'm over the moon though that we've got all the way as far as Australia.
We'll do a fan visit, but obviously it'd have to be completely paid for.
Anyway, let's chat about the films, dude, because this episode is gonna be 7 hours long. Right. So what we do in the shadows and behind the mask. So two quite different films there. I haven't actually seen What We Do in the Shadows. I think it's a vampire comedy thing, isn't it?
It's so goddamn good.
Yeah, is it a film or
It's
a
one of my
TV series?
absolute favorites. It's both.
Oh, right, okay.
TV
Cool.
series is amazing. Like, I love the TV series. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I
Amazing.
equally love the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll
they're
have to get
just
them watched.
goddamn funny. It's the only way I can word it.
That's good. That's good. And then Behind the Mask.
Now,
Yes.
I liked it. I loved 95% of it.
Okay, that's
But
good.
I hated the ending. I hated it.
Oh, how come?
I felt like
What?
they couldn't have messed it up more if they tried.
Oh, do you think so? I'd not.
Oh, he just floppily goes into the cider press and then burns the house down, and they just leave. It's like, oh, fucking hell. All that setup, and he's just, oh, that's it, is it?
I didn't mind it. I liked
No.
the idea of we were following an actual kind of guy who was a slasher and his dad had been a slasher.
Oh, that's what I mean.
You know,
I love all of that. I love
was-
every part of it.
yeah,
It's
such
just
a
the final
cool-
bit where he dies. Hate it.
Oh, that's fair. Such a cool, unique idea. And I thought the guy was pretty charismatic and stuff as well.
Yeah, but I loved everything about it. It was
Yeah.
an amazing movie. Just I think they fucked the ending.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you haven't seen Behind the Mask, guys, I would say it's kind of now spoiled, but also it's definitely worth a watch. It's really different. It's really quirky. It's quite hard to get hold of, so you might have to hunt down a DVD of it somewhere. But it was definitely worth your time, in my opinion.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I loved it.
Just such a unique idea. So cool,
Yeah, really
following
clever.
around like a slasher guy, and it's like they're basically pretending like Michael Myers, Jason, and all those kind of slasher killers are real.
Yeah, they're making out that slashing and murdering is a business.
Yeah,
And they were they were the guys that took it the old school method and took it to the new level,
that's
which
it.
is clever,
Yeah.
really clever.
And then it just literally follows Leslie Vernon explaining how he's gonna kill people, basically.
Yeah. And you never
Amazing.
really know whether he's kind of supernatural either, do you? It's
Yeah, it's a bit.
because he gets
it's a bit
shot in the
strange.
library and he's like, "Oh, I had a vest on," but it's like they leave that quite vague, but in a good
They
way.
did. Yes, yeah, all around top class film in my eyes, and I think everyone should see it.
And who was the psychiatrist? I recognised him.
Oh, God. I've watched so many films lately, but yeah, have a quick look
I'll
because
look it up.
obviously they were riffing on Dr. Loomis, weren't they, from Halloween, like massively.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I just remember the guy that played the Doctor, and I was like, "Oh, Robert Englund."
yeah, of course, it's Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. Yeah,
Yeah. I was like, I knew I recognised him.
yeah. How did I forget that already? Bloody hell. I've watched too many films lately. I've literally watched about 20 films in 13 days. So yeah,
If I had the time, I would have loved to.
I was going to say my brain's really frazzled from some of them, but Behind the
bet.
Mask, guys, check it out, get it watched. It's really bloody good. All right, just quickly touch on Ginger Snaps. Then I know you're not a werewolf movie fan, but this one
I am not.
I could highly recommend to you, man. It's really good. It's a bit different to normal werewolf kind of films. So
Is it though?
yeah, no, it is indeed. Again, I won't say too much about it. You're not going to watch it, are you? Though
I'm definitely not going to watch it.
you should. But for anyone who hasn't seen this underrated werewolf flick, definitely give it a watch. It's a top class choice there. So yeah.
I believe you.
Right, another found footage film then, Hell House LLC.
Yes.
Yes, so this is one I watched recently. I'd always heard a lot about it. There's now 4 of these films.
Is there?
I hadn't
Jesus.
I hadn't seen any of them, but I remember liking the premise. So it's about some people that buy up an old spooky hotel, and they do it up to make a scare attraction, basically.
Yep.
So really good premise. I really like the idea. They don't have a lot of
I
money.
enjoyed it.
they end up, I did. They end up sleeping over there and setting all the cameras up, setting the haunts up. They get some actors in, and then it gets to opening night, and shit hits the fan, basically. So,
it does, doesn't it?
I won't say too much because this is worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very much in the mold of most found footage films. But this one does have a few scary moments, especially if you do not like clowns. Let's just say. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Nothing groundbreaking here.
No.
I don't think it's going to blow anyone away, but it does give off big Halloween vibes, which is what we're looking for here.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah,
and it is a fun watch. There is a few dick characters in it, one in particular, but most of the others are likable, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, I remember. I'm saying much the same as you. It's nothing earth-shatteringly new or brilliant, but it's a good piece of cinema.
Yeah, there you go. It's a fun watch, I would say.
Yeah.
If you want a couple of jump scares and just to feel a bit on edge,
do it.
Right. Let's roll the next lot of clips.
This is Justin from Pop Culture Reflections. It is spooky season once again, and there are two films that get me stoked for this time of year. The first one is my favorite horror film of all time, The Shining. That's right. Spooky season doesn't start for me until Jack Torrance is putting an axe through a door and sticking his damn head through it. The other one is Return of the Living Dead. If you love zombie movies and love comedy horror, there are no better movies out there than Return of the Living Dead. It also has great practical effects, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of great characters. So I'd recommend those two movies if you want to get in the mood for spooky season.
Hi, this is Paul from SP Film Viewers, and around the spooky season, my favourites to watch are The Shining, Halloween 1978, and since recently, Houseu.
Hello, Ben and Grant. This is Paul from the Yamatoville Horror Podcast, the world's favourite and only Black Country-based horror podcast. I obviously watch a ton of horror films all year round, but my long-suffering other half tends to save watching her scary favourites for October. Every Halloween we indulge in John Carpenter's The Fog, Kubrick's The Shining, plus a personal favourite, the Ken Russell bizarrely camp British classic, which Hugh Grant has disowned, The Lair of the White Worm. Definitely worth a watch.
Okay, so Halloween's come up again. I honestly thought that's going to happen. I did fail to mention it came up in the last clips as well with Kate, who also mentioned Halloween 2018, but we'll touch on that when we cover Halloween. But you can't wait.
Yep, don't mind that one.
Okay, so we've got a couple of different ones here. Houseu, house in Japanese, I think.
Never heard of it.
So I've probably got a terrible pronunciation on that. But no, I hadn't really. I haven't had time to watch this one, but I did watch a little bit of the sort of clips, trailers, etc. And it looks bonkers. It looks fucking mental. So
does it?
Yes. So I'm definitely going to get this one watched. Very quirky, very strange. Obviously, the Japanese do horror kind of a little bit differently to most people, which I enjoy. So,
I definitely enjoy.
This one's definitely one I'm gonna watch soon. We've got another one which I have seen, I think, but so long ago. The Lair of the White Worm, which
I don't know if I've seen this.
I think I've seen it, but I can't really remember much of it. Again, it looks very trippy and strange.
I see. No, I haven't seen this for sure.
Unfortunately, it's going to be one. Well, I say not unfortunately, but I'm going to have to watch this one soon. I haven't been able to squeeze it in time for the episode.
Is that an old one? Is it? 88. Yeah.
Yeah, 88.
I was 1 year old.
Well, there we go. I was a touch older.
You weren't.
But I've seen some of the others. You'll be pleased to hear. So The Fog.
Yeah. I can't remember too much of it, but I remember enjoying it for sure.
Okay, so The Fog, Tom Atkins, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Carpenter. So yeah, winning combo on all of those. Really, the music in it is fantastic. I really enjoy the music in The Fog.
You do enjoy the music, don't you?
I do, and I also love the visual aesthetic of this movie. Apart from when you see the fog traveling across the sea, it looks really bad. But
Oh, was
But
this
the whole
1980? Was there a remake?
there was a remake which I have not watched because I've heard it's one of the worst films ever made.
Yeah, because I was saying I've seen the remake and I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't know
Okay.
there was an original. So maybe I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, this one's about kind of spooky murder pirates.
Ah, that sounds more fun.
Yeah, there you go. If I say it like that, right? You're like, oh yeah.
Spooky murder
But
pirates. I'm all over that.
what I quite like about this is there's like a radio broadcast going out across the village trying to help people, and the woman's sort of trapped in the lighthouse, trying to talk about it all across the airwaves,
sounds fun.
basically. And it's done in a really cool way. Obviously, it's John Carpenter, so you'll get an idea of what kind of vibes happening here. But yeah, this is one of Carpenter's top films for me.
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I've only seen it a few times, but I'm definitely going to give this one a watch around Halloween this year.
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely love it, mate. We've got Return of the Living Dead.
I enjoy a Living Dead movie.
You enjoy this one,
I'd
do
like
you?
to think I'm a connoisseur of these.
Oh, really? This one,
Yeah.
this one is a bonkers one as well, isn't it? So
Oh, they're all nuts, aren't they?
they are all nuts, but it's you get the crazy old tar man in this one, don't you? Coming up the stairs, which is great.
Yeah. The skull guy.
Yeah, you get all sorts. You get Linnea Quigley dancing naked on a grave, and then get infected by the acidy zombie rain thing, and then turn into a naked zombie biting people.
Well, I mean, that's always a good time.
Always a good time. The soundtrack to this is phenomenal as well, but it's all classic punk kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's a good time. I really enjoy these movies. I like all of them, really.
Yeah, I do. The group of kind of youngsters in this one, the punk kids, I think are all really good fun. They're all quite quirky and different from each other. And I'd actually like to see, touching on Dead by Daylight earlier, I'd love to see like most of them be survivors in Dead by Daylight, 'cause I think that'd be quite funny.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there couldn't really be a killer, couldn't really do Tarman, I suppose. I don't know. But
Yeah, you don't always need a killer to match, though, do you? I guess.
that's it. You could just chuck the survivors in there. So
Yeah.
This is a top class, fun 80s zombie film, which I implore
Tarman
you
looks
all
nuts.
to watch if you haven't seen. It's just a great
Do
time.
it now.
Do it now. It's really good fun. It's really fast paced as well. Doesn't hang about at all.
Oh, we like a bit of that.
There we go. Right, moving on to the classic, which is The Shining. Go on, say it.
I haven't seen it.
Yay! Finally, one you haven't seen that I have.
It's kind of becoming my thing.
Well, that you haven't seen The Shining.
Yeah. It's a little fun talking point.
Yeah.
The horror maniacs, and I haven't seen it. I do want to see it. It's just never come up.
No, that's fair enough, man. I mean, it's long. I mean, the one I rewatched yesterday, I didn't remember it being nearly 2.5 hours long when I first watched it, but hey, it was. So
I know it's a classic. I've just never done it. I don't know. Well, maybe I have and I've forgotten. I can't remember.
So you know what it's about, yeah?
Kind of.
Yeah. So
Killer in a hotel. That's about all I know.
Yeah, kind of. So a writer decides that he needs a new job. He gets a job being the caretaker of the Overlook Hotel. Basically, it shuts down for 5 months of the year during the winter. So he gets the job there. He moves his wife and his kid in with him, and then he slowly goes mad, basically, and tries to kill him.
Oh, he tried to kill his own family.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
That's
whole
some
sort of gist of the
Amityville
film.
vibes.
It's got supernatural vibes because the young boy Danny, he has something called the Shining or the Shine, which is where he can see, he can see stuff. Basically, he can see paranormal stuff. So he starts
the
seeing
twins.
Yeah, he starts seeing things that's happened in the hotel before. Like he sees the two twin girls, the Grady twins.
Yeah.
And they are trying to entice him to come play with them. He then sees their
And I remember the tricycle
bodies.
as well.
The what? Sorry.
The little bike he rides around the hallway.
Oh yeah.
I remember that because you remember the carpet quite vividly.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. The carpet is very distinct.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Yeah, this film I think is beautifully shot. So it is long and at times it is slow, but I do think it has an amazing sense of tension throughout the whole thing. So
I need to watch it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Jack Nicholson is obviously amazing in it, as he is in most things. Playing Jack Torrance, the writer who slowly goes insane.
Silly boy.
it's just great. There's some really horrible parts to it. It's not, I wouldn't say like, you don't see anything on screen that's really, really shocking or that. It's just that underlying tension and the slow unraveling of his sort of mental health and things. Yeah, and there's a big thing about stuff that goes on in room 237 and how you shouldn't go in there, don't look in there and stuff.
Assuming he looks in there.
All sorts happen. I'm not going to say too much because I truly think you need to watch this one. It is
okay.
I think it is deserving of its classic status.
Okay.
Beautifully shot. The soundtrack's great. The music's great. Yeah, well acted all round. There is a real couple of silly bits near the end where one of the characters is running away and she looks like she's running really like comedically. So takes you out the moment slightly.
They like to do that, don't they?
Yeah. But apart from that, even the kid, right? I'm not going to lie, kids in horror films I don't normally really get on with. But I like this little fella, Danny. You know,
this little fella.
Yeah. And then of course they did the sequel not long ago called Doctor Sleep.
Oh, okay.
Which I haven't seen yet, but
I've heard of it. But...
It's Danny when he's older, basically, and Ewan McGregor plays him. So yeah,
I like it.
But yeah, beautifully shot. Like I say, great acting, good music, tons and tons of tension. So get it watched if you haven't already.
Good time. Sounds like a good time.
All right, so here's the next clips.
Hi, Horror Movie Maniacs. My name's Ashley. I stream a variety of games, including horror games, under the name of CF Gamer 1994 on both Twitch and YouTube. The top 3 films to get me in the mood for Halloween are at number 1, Dawn of the Dead by George A. Romero. I think it's a classic. I love all of George A. Romero's work. I quite routinely have a watch through of all of his things. Number 2 would be An American Werewolf in London. I think it's another great classic. The special effects for the time are amazing, and that first transformation into a werewolf never ceases to amaze me. And last but not least would be From Dusk Till Dawn by Quentin Tarantino. I think it was a revolutionary movie for its time. That Selma Hayek scene was an awakening for me at a very young age of about 14 or 15. I just love how cheesy it is and how hammy it is. I hope you all have a great Halloween.
Hi guys, happy October. My name's Sky and my Instagram handle is Watch More Horror Films. My top 3 movies for getting in the mood for spooky season are Reanimator, because nothing screams Halloween like green goo. Bride of Chucky, which is just my favourite Child's Play movie in general, but also just perfect for Halloween. And 3 is May from 2002, which is always just exactly what I need around Halloween time.
All right, so there's lots of different films on that one. I think we got 6 different ones, but we'll talk about American Werewolf in London later on.
Yeah.
Briefly, because I know you're not the biggest fan.
I don't like werewolf movies.
No. So Dawn of the Dead, classic Romero, the second part of the Dead trilogy. So you got Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead hailed by many as the best part. So this is the one where they're in the shopping mall, isn't it? Running about, shooting and pushing the zombies around.
Yes, I'm not familiar with the original, if I'm honest.
Okay.
One of my first ever movies I watched was one of the first horror movies I remember loving was the 2004 version.
Yeah, 2004 version is very good. Let's just touch on the old one briefly, and then we'll roll back.
Of course,
round.
Yeah.
So there's a few different cuts of this film, I believe. I've possibly seen, I think there's 3 different cuts. I've probably seen them all across my time. But yeah, it's a good fun film. It's quite long, but many people say it's the best zombie film ever made. Not sure if I'm in agreement with that, but I do really, really enjoy it. Yeah, you can't beat the old shopping mall zombie carnage, can you really? So obviously then went on to inspire the Dead Rising video game, I think, didn't it?
Well, that would make sense. Yeah, that would fit.
Yeah. So, and then, like you say, got a remake in 2004.
Yes, which I'm a massive fan of.
Yes, remake is very good, isn't it? So.
And the soundtrack of the 2004 version was very, very good. I remember having the DVD and the music on the menu was Down with the Sickness.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a slowed down version of it at the end of the film, I think.
Yeah. Amazing.
So yeah, very good, very good. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Dawn of the Dead films, give them a watch. Both are great. One of the only remakes that is, well, not one of the only remakes, but a horror remake that is actually very good for once.
Yeah. So I didn't even. Obviously I've known since, but when I first watched this one, I didn't know there was an original.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I remember this well just because the dad from American Family, is it Modern Family?
That's it. Yeah, he's indeed. Yeah. So, but no, go back and watch the original, man. It is really good. It's really good fun. Obviously, it's got the old slow moving zombies and stuff. How Romero originated them and things. So, yeah, give it a watch. Really good fun. And then, sorry, we're going to move a little quick on these because we've still got tons to get through. So, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yes, that's a classic, isn't it?
It is. I really enjoy this one. Again, first saw this on VHS just after, well, it was released, and didn't really know it was a horror film. Just saw it was George Clooney, Tarantino. Thought it was like what do you call it? A road sort of movie. Two guys going around robbing stuff, doing bad shit.
Yeah.
And then of course they need a place to stay, and they rock up at the they almost kidnap Harvey Keitel and his kids, don't they? He's a priest, or he was a priest, but he's lost his faith. Juliette Lewis is his daughter, and then he's got his son as well. And they go to the brilliantly named Titty Twister.
And then, like a good time.
Yeah, and then once they're in there, of course, Salma Hayek does a sexy dance with a snake.
Salma.
And all hell breaks loose, literally.
Love a bit of Salma Hayek. She's one of my faves.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's just vampire carnage everywhere. Loads of wet gooeys in this one.
Love the wet gooeys.
So yeah, blood, guts, body fluids all over the place, limbs all over the place, even as well. So
limbs.
Yeah, limbs. Tom Savini shows up as what's he called in it? Sex Machine, I think.
Well, I mean, obviously, what else would he be called?
He has a little penis gun, doesn't he? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so yeah, this one's
like
great.
I should.
Dusk Till Dawn, give it a watch. Sequels not quite so good, but the first one's top class. George Clooney's brilliant in it as well.
Yeah, he's very good.
There you go. Right. Talk about American Werewolf in London later. Reanimator.
Yeah. Haven't seen it.
Okay. This one is a classic 80s splatterfest kind of crazy film. So it's about a guy who tries to, reanimate people, basically. Starts by experimenting on his cat and then eventually manages to reanimate people. Has a scene in this film that is kind of over the top near the end, involving somebody's head and a naked lady. That's all I'm going to say.
Sounds like a good time.
This is truly one of the most weirdest, bonkers films of the 80s, I would say, but it is really good fun. Yeah, really good fun as well. I think you'll like the vibe of it. It's really silly, really over the top, really gooey, really messy. From what I recall.
Yeah, because we watched Society, didn't we? And I meant to get around to watch this as well, but I just didn't.
It's in a similar vein, to be honest. It is that kind of strangeness. So
well, it is a good time though, so that's fine.
Yeah. And I think it'd actually pair really well with Return of the Living Dead, what we said about earlier.
Oh, okay.
I think you could watch this, Return of the Living Dead.
From Beyond, that was the other one I was thinking of, sorry.
Right, yeah. I think From Beyond is from the same guy, and it's got the same actors in it, Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs.
Okay, might be. Yeah, I liked From Beyond, so I imagine I'll like this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Very similar vibe. So yeah, Reanimator, really good fun. Get that watched. The Bride of Chucky.
Bride of Chucky, specifically the Bride of Chucky.
It's one of the best ones of the series, without a doubt.
Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's the one that introduces Tiffany Valentine, isn't it?
Yeah, and she just works really well.
Yeah, they play off each other brilliantly. Jennifer Tilly's great as Tiffany.
Yeah, she really is.
I think Brad Dourif is always great as Chucky.
Yeah, I do love a Chucky.
Just a top-class fun film, I would say.
Yeah, it's a really good time, that one. I remember loving that. And it inspired so many Halloween costumes.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, now they're both in Dead by Daylight, which I keep saying I love.
Is Tiffany in it? Is she a costume?
She's a legendary skin, yeah. So you get her voice when you buy the outfit, I think. So yeah, I'm an absolute.
Cool. That's a nice touch.
I'm a huge fan of Child's Play. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I like the newer ones. Again, I don't know if I've even seen the originals, but
right.
Either way, I'm a fan.
Yeah. So yeah, Sky, good choice. Love that. And then May. Now,
I need to see this.
May is a film I think will have gone under a lot of people's radar, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a very quirky, strange film about a girl who's kind of almost neglected by society. She's kind of not seen by people, and she's a bit quirky and stuff. And yeah, but sort of mistreated by people in a way, taken advantage of. And it's about her sort of gradual decline of her mental health and how she just wants to be loved and have somebody. So it's quite sad in a way, but it is also quite shocking in places. Really, really well acted. This one really surprised me. I only watched it recently, and I've got to say, I really enjoyed it as much as you can enjoy a film like this.
I need to see it, but I don't know where I can watch it.
It gets really dark. It's pretty sinister, but it's very, very good. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely you'd have to pick up a copy of it. Pop in CEX, man, see if they've got a copy.
Yeah, I think I need to because this looks really good.
But yeah, I don't want to say too much because it is a really interesting, really good watch. So,
we need to do it.
Saying about Scary Movie, it has Anna Faris in it from Scary Movie.
Oh, okay.
So she doesn't play the main person. She doesn't play May.
No.
But yeah, she's in it too. So.
Oh, I'm all for that. It genuinely looks really good. I need to watch. It's one I definitely want to watch.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll like this one. So yeah, some really good choices there from Ashley
Great choices.
and Sky. Some really different ones as well. So
loves it.
Thank you very much. We'll roll on until the next clips.
Yes.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Grant. Thank you so much for inviting me on Horror Movie Maniacs to talk about horror movies. It's Scott, obviously, from You Run Podcast. I've got such a long list that I could go on for days. Like, this is the reason I have a podcast, because I love horror movies so much, same as you. And it was really hard to whittle this down to sort of the guidelines that you gave, sort of 2 or 3. And I actually managed to cut it to 2. But I'm going to talk a bit about both movies. And I didn't want to go with your stereotypical, I watch Halloween at Halloween, and I watch Friday the 13th at Halloween, and I watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. I wanted to go for movies that maybe not everybody has seen. And I wanted to start off with a found footage movie from 2020. This is a movie called Host. So this movie was filmed during global pandemic. It was filmed during lockdown. And it is one of the most innovative, clever found footage horror movies I've ever seen. So it's a group of friends that want to host a team. They're hosting a Teams call, the way we all used to communicate during lockdown. And they do that. And when they do that, they have a seance and inadvertently release a demon, which is able to travel between the locations using the internet connection. This movie is brilliant. The scares are fabulous. And this is a movie that I genuinely watch every Halloween. And the reason I watch it every Halloween is because it's a quick watch. So Halloween, I'm really busy with the show and setting up loads of stuff for our Halloween party we have each year. And this is a 60-minute movie. It's literally the runtime of a Zoom call. And it is absolutely fabulous. It's a high recommend from me, and one that I think needs to get more recognition because it kind of dipped under the radar a little. The other movie that I want to talk about is also found footage. So anyone who doesn't know, I love found footage horror. And I hated the fact that found footage horror become quite stale. It become very much, this is what you get in a found footage movie. So when I find one that breaks that mold, it's like Christmas for me. Or Halloween for me, whichever you'd rather. This is a movie I watch every year, and I watch it with my 2 oldest sons because they absolutely adore this movie. And this movie is Deadstream. This follows disgraced content creator, YouTuber, whatever you want to call him, Sean Ruddy. He's lost his sponsors. He's done some really questionable things online. And to get his sponsors back, he's agreed to spend a night in a haunted location and live stream the event to his audience. It is, if Paranormal Activity and The Evil Dead had a baby, it would be Deadstream. It is such a kooky, weird horror comedy, but it fully captures that Halloween feel. So we sit down and watch this, and this is one that just makes me smile all the way through, from the cringeworthy sort of awful portrayal of this content creator through to his full redemption arc and all of the scares and all of the practical effects. This is absolutely pitch perfect for me. Again, a huge thank you for inviting me on. I don't want to chew up too much of your episode time. I'd love to know your thoughts on these two movies, and get your listeners to watch them if they've not seen them. Have a wonderful Halloween, guys, and I will catch you all really soon. See you later.
Okay, so a couple of cool films there. Deadstream and Host. So shall we have a quick chat about Deadstream first?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, should also say thanks to Scott there. That was a cool clip.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
He got proper into that. So
you well into it.
Yeah, that's good though. I like it.
Oh God, yeah, I'm like that with certain films.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Deadstream. I watched this a few nights ago. This was a first time watch for me.
I watched this. I think it was when it. Yeah, well, it was in 2022, wasn't it? So yeah, I probably watched it shortly after it came out. To be fair, because anything found footage, I'm first in line for.
Yeah, you really are, aren't you? Actually, so
God, I love it.
I do like a found footage, but this one, I wasn't so sure. It's a horror comedy, isn't it? This one, so
yeah, it is. But I don't know. I don't remember it being. I think it was more heavily horror, I guess.
Yeah, there was a fair balance of both. I think.
Yeah.
I think because the main guy, so it's about an influencer, YouTuber, content creator, podcaster. I don't know, whatever you want to say.
Social media person.
Yeah, that's it. He does something he shouldn't online, and he gets cancelled for a while. So he's trying to make a big comeback. So he puts out an apology, and his way of apologising is by going to a haunted house and recording it, or obviously live streaming it. Sorry, and he'll investigate any noises or anything scary he hears or sees. He has to investigate, so he can't run off, and so a pretty cool premise. I thought it's acted really well, but I found the main dude really annoying.
Well, he might have captured the sort of character he's trying to play perfectly, really, because not to be horrible to any influencers, but typically influencers are pretty irritating.
Yeah, this is what I did think. As I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, I think he's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
So with that respect, he did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't trying to go for that and he was just annoying, then that's different, I guess. But
yeah, that's fair.
I don't know the guy, but I assume that's the character, and he done it well.
Yeah, it's a fast-moving film as well, isn't it? It doesn't hang around. So that helps. Yeah, there's always something going on. There's loads of. He puts up little cameras all around the house, so it flicks between different cameras at times. He's then using an iPad to look through the different cameras and things. So. Although you do
that little mini office he made, didn't he? That little
yeah, that's it. So as although you do see a lot of his face in real close up, a lot of the time it does change, and you do see a lot of other angles and cameras and stuff as well. So that keeps it varied.
Camera angles are done really well, I think. Some of the scary shots are horrible.
Yeah, they are indeed. I really like the setting of the haunted house. I thought it looked brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great house. We could do with a house like that.
Yeah, definitely. I was reading up a little bit about it beforehand, and originally when they found the house, it didn't have a roof or anything, and so they had to do some
roof on
jiggery pokery and change it all up and stuff.
That's what happens with a budget.
yeah. Although I still think it's fairly low budget, wasn't it? I'm not going to go into budgets and numbers when we're doing this pod because we've got way too many movies. But this film reminded me, the humour in it. At times, the silly kindness to some of the parts reminded me of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah,
I would say.
I'd say that's about right, yeah.
Some of the blood spatters and bodily fluids and fingers up noses and, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yes, quite light-hearted. But then there is some very, very scary bits, actually.
So. Yeah, I suppose, I mean, if I had to compare it to something, it could be Grave Encounters, if anyone's seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I saw it a long time ago. I remember it being absolutely fucking petrifying, mate.
Oh, I'm a huge fan. It's just one of those ones that just came out of nowhere and no one ever talks about.
Yeah, it's got
lost. It's like one of my all-time favourites.
Yeah, it's kind of got lost in the pack of the found footage films, isn't it? Really. So.
Yeah, but I think it's arguably one of the best ones.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I agree. Like I said, I don't remember too much.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just saying I don't remember too much of it. I remember it being bloody brilliant and really, really scary. So
yeah, I was going to say Blair Witch holds the title, but Grave Encounters ain't far off.
Yeah, I'd agree. But
anyway, Deadstream.
Yeah, no, this was a fun watch. I think it got a bit more interesting when Chrissy came into it as well. So it wasn't just one character walking around the house all the time.
I didn't see that twist coming either.
I didn't see the twist coming. No, completely took me by surprise. It was really well done. Some really good effects there as well. I think the practical effects in this are pretty good for a low budget-ish kind of film. There are some instances later on, but again, I think this is on purpose, where some of the monsters and creatures look a bit silly.
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at some of the images just to refresh myself, and just the images alone are pretty damn scary.
Yeah, and I think some of the creatures and the designs reflect the humor of the film, to be honest.
Yeah,
so,
that's
so
right. One of them looked like Gollum.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, so it does fit really well. There was one bit that actually really did creep me out. So, can you remember? I can't remember who, if it was Chrissy or if it was Sean, but I think it was Chrissy. I think Sean was shouting something at Chrissy, and behind her, you just see a pair of legs go up into the ceiling. Do you remember that bit?
I do. I don't remember if it terrified me or not. I probably did.
I liked it, but I was like, oh, that's really creepy.
Because when you said that, it made me think of the film we're going to talk about next, to be fair.
Yeah, there's a similar scene.
A pair of legs.
Yeah. So we'll move on to Host in a second then. There was just one other thing about Deadstream I wanted to say. It nearly said Dead Space then. Deadstream was, I liked the comments coming up at the side. That's where a lot of the humour come into it as well.
Yeah, that's good. And that sticks in with what it should have been as well, if that makes sense. It's a live stream.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They pay attention to detail on this.
Yeah, and there was a lot of comments coming up that were pretty humorous. And one of them wasn't a humorous one, but it just said, did you see the legs behind you or something like that? So yeah, I was having one eye on the comments, one eye on the actual video. And yeah. But all in all, an enjoyable movie. Definitely spooky, Halloween-y kind of vibes, for sure. So I've
got a fun fact for you.
Yeah, go on.
So the house has apparently been unoccupied since the 1950s.
Ooh.
But several of the furnishings, especially the toilet, are clearly from very modern times. And not from 70 years ago.
Well, they probably had to replace a few bits, didn't they? Like I say, I think it was quite pretty derelict. But
we found them.
What's that?
We found them. We found the mishaps.
You found the mishaps. You did.
Yeah. That's what I do.
You do indeed.
Oh, look, it's funny what you've just said about Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Because it says on top of the spirit board has Klaatu Verata Nikto written on top. And though it originated in the Day the Earth Stood Still, it's actually from Army of Darkness. So the third Evil Dead. So you weren't far off.
Nice. I think Deadstream was probably the humour and the bodily fluids and stuff was probably influenced by Evil Dead, I reckon.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I've got two more that need to be said.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
They've done this film in a week.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
That's pretty good. And apparently this film was filmed in the same house as the film Made Men with Jim Belushi, Michael Beach and Timothy Dalton.
Oh, okay. When was that? That must have been a while ago, Made Men. I don't know.
99, that was.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, and good the facts. Dog sled one where he's naked on the sled. That was the first shot of the film, as in that was the first thing they filmed.
Brilliant. Good facts, man. I like it.
There you go.
All right, shall we move on to Host? Otherwise, we're going to spend way too long, and this episode will be 4 hours long.
Yeah, I know.
No one will listen. But okay, so Host, has a scene with legs going up in the air as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's where it sort of kicks off, isn't it? That's where the scariness starts.
Yeah. So Host, for anyone that hasn't seen it, is about a group of friends. I think there's 6 of them who hold a seance over Zoom during COVID. So
already a genius idea.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to say before we go too far, I absolutely love this film. I think it's amazing.
It's unreal.
The runtime is just under an hour, so it's like Zoom meeting time, basically. I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's about 40 minutes, isn't it? And,
you see a
little bit more than that, obviously, but
but you see the timer counting down at times and stuff, don't you? And it's got the Zoom interface, so it's something everybody used during lockdown. So straight away you're put back into that time. Or I mean, it came out in 2020, so it came out when COVID was happening. So
yeah, good on them for sort of deciding to do something like that, and they absolutely nailed the damn thing.
Yeah, they did indeed. So the early setup is all the friends meeting up on Zoom and then getting a medium in to set up an online seance, basically.
Yeah.
Some of them start dicking around, having a laugh, not paying attention. All the
Oh,
normal
that
stuff you get over
bloody,
Zoom.
what's her name? Gemma.
Yeah, Gemma starts
Bloody
making up
Gemma.
stories and all sorts, and everyone's believing her, and then ends up she's just being a dick.
causes the problem.
But it's quite a good way to get to know the characters.
Yeah.
You see that Haley's the bit of the straight edge one who is deadly serious, doesn't really like laughing and
Takes the
joking
spirit
around.
seriously.
Yeah, a couple of the others you can see are a little bit more afraid. They're
Yeah. Caroline was the main one, wasn't she?
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
She probably had the worst death as well. But anyway.
yeah. I mean, the deaths in this are pretty brutal for something
know.
that has virtually no budget as well. But so yeah, the seance starts happening. The medium. Where did the medium even go? I've only watched it earlier and I've forgotten.
Well, she
already.
gets her delivery.
Oh yeah.
And then she comes back and her internet cuts out. She can't get it back on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So,
But that was obviously the spirit breaking the broadband.
Yes, I have that
I
from
think
time to
that's the
time.
spirit would
So,
do.
yeah, I was going to say, if they're going to do something, they're going to bloody shit on your internet, aren't they? So,
Maybe that's what happens when all our broadbands go down.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's the spirit.
They have to call the Ghostbusters around, mate.
Screw you, Sky. We need the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, do it.
Or
yeah,
every
so-
other reputable broadband provider.
Yes, not just that one you mentioned. There are plenty. Well done. Just in case Sky end up listening, So-
Oh, yeah, of course they will.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I mean, other broadband providers are listening.
Other reputable broadband.
Reputable.
companies.
Fair.
But not
Um,
BT because they're CAC. I'm sorry.
Right, where should we go from here? So we've done the setup.
Should we go through the sort of scares?
Yeah, go for it. Go on.
So we touched on the legs, and that's Caroline, isn't it? That sees that 'cause she goes and gets her like what do they call them? Selfie stick.
Yeah, Caroline set
and
up a funny background, doesn't she? Where she's got herself walking behind her in the background.
it was so good as well. And even though I'd seen
Yeah.
this before, I was thinking that could play in as a jump scare, but they didn't go down that route.
No, they didn't. No, but it could
Equally,
have.
it worked. But yeah,
Mm.
she goes into the loft, holds her phone stick up there, selfie stick up there, and she can't see because she's too scared, so she sticks the
Yeah.
selfie stick up there, and you see a pair of legs.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really scary.
Yeah, the only thing I found was that none of them. I know some of them said, "Oh, what was that?" But if that had been me and clearly seen those legs, I would have freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I mean, they
But
start
they're all just
freaking
like,
out.
"Oh, I think I saw something." What?
They start freaking out a bit later on, don't they? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last sort of 15, 20 minutes of this film are just full on fucking chaos, to be honest. Everything just starts going nuts.
And I thought I would hate Teddy. I thought his character was going to be really annoying, but I actually ended up really liking him.
Yeah. I think because
He
he's the
just
only
really
guy,
worked.
isn't he? He's like the only
Yeah,
guy.
but
in
he
it,
just
so.
it wasn't. He was believable. Like, it was really well acted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they all
agree.
did well too.
The small
quite
part that
honestly.
he was in it for. Yeah. No, it was acted. Well acted, sorry. Yeah. So
But I mean, go through deaths quickly then, I guess, and I've touched on it. Caroline's death is probably the most brutal.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the again, spoiler, but yeah, the face
Yeah.
smashed. So
Yeah, over and over again in between her sort of wallpaper. It's just
yeah.
just brutal.
Yeah, and it did make me wonder really how they did it. Because again, I'd often think about how they do certain things when they're on a very low budget. And I was like,
Mm.
wow, because she looks like she's proper smacking her face against the screen or the desk or whatever. Yeah.
Sound effects, and it's all in the sound effects.
Yeah. And the violent motion that she was doing, I think. So,
Yeah, God, yeah. I didn't like. I thought Regina's death was pretty shite. Her boyfriend sort of falls from the ceiling, and then it's almost just like she falls over, and then there's just like a little back on the screen. I'm like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, not the best. Not the
no.
best.
But while you were saying about it, as in how do they do things?
Hmm.
The scene where Teddy's girlfriend is like floating above the swimming pool.
Yeah.
God knows how they did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Even now, I was like, how?
Yeah. And one of the other, Emma gets lifted up in the air at one point as well, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
You can
does.
see on the camera that her feet have come off the floor and she's being lifted up
Yeah.
as well. So they do some good levitation tricks in this one.
Yeah, they do, to be fair. And even because she's quite savvy with how to show the ghost, isn't she? Is it Emma, did you say? I can't remember her name.
Emma's the one, who hides under the cover, isn't she?
One with the pigtails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
So she
yeah.
sees that. I mean, the creepiest goddamn bit of this film, I would arguably say, is where she's got that face filter on and she just sees like a face in her lounge.
Yeah.
And then it turns to her like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's sort of
throws flour on the floor, and then later on she throws a sheet, and it just sticks over this spirit.
Oh, God, yeah, that bit really got me as well. Yeah,
Oh, horrible. You knew it was coming as well, but it's still horrible.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a mix of where you've got like the flower footprints and stuff. It's a bit reminding me of Hollow Man, like a little bit back in the 2000s, or Invisible Man, or any iteration of that invisible person kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, the setup, the kills, all of this is just great. I loved every second of it. So
yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning because I'd seen this when it came out, and then we watched it last night, and you told me make sure you got your headphones on. So I got my laptop out and put my headphones on, and this film's got levels because you can watch it and it's great. But if you do it on a laptop with headphones in, it's like you're in the damn Zoom call.
Absolutely, yeah,
and it just works. The only thing I wish was that it was longer.
No, see, I'm happy with the runtime. I don't think it needs to be longer.
Oh no, I would love it. Or maybe not a longer, but maybe a sequel. That would have been unreal.
Yeah, I'll take that. What was I going to say? Oh, just one more thing that I thought was really genius, actually, is the end part where Gemma and Haley, isn't it, are walking in the house. Walking in the house, Haley picks up the camera. It's pitch black. Haley picks up the camera as she starts taking pictures and using the flash to see in front of them.
Oh, it's horrible.
I thought that was genius, though. The tension there is unreal.
Because every picture, like on one of these pictures, they're going to show it.
Yeah, exactly. And also special mention to how they did the credits as well.
Yeah. Sorry,
it wasn't usual. Yeah, it wasn't like a usual scroll up the screen, was it? It was it like her contacts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like the list of people you could invite to a call, and it's just all of the credits. It's brilliant.
Yeah, all the people who made the film. So yeah, all in all, absolute top class film. If you haven't seen Host, guys, from 2020, get it watched as soon as with your headphones on in the dark.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned this by accident actually. Plot holes. Obviously, we know a Zoom call's 40 minutes long, but obviously the film comes to like 55 minutes. So there's a plot hole, but we were talking, I was like, it's 40 minutes. But
I did like how it ended though. Like you could see the Zoom call ticking down, and there was like 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5. So you knew it was about to end, or you thought it was probably going to, and then it does. When it hits 0, it cuts the call.
Because we do that when we're doing these things, don't we? I'm looking at the time and like,
I was going to say, yeah, we might be doing that in a minute. Yeah. But we've probably prattled on for too long about these two movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're just
two good choices, though. Two very good choices.
Having a brief chat. Yeah, agreed. Two very good choices. Deadstream, I could see myself watching if I've had a few beers and I want something light and fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Host. It's quite a good one for sort of a group of friends to watch, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say so. Host is definitely one to watch on your own in the pitch black with the volume up as loud as you can in your headphones.
Yeah, ideally a laptop or a phone or something with your headphones in.
Yes. So yeah, both are good films. Go get them watched.
Thanks, guys.
All right, on to the next clip.
Good evening, horror movie addicts. I'm Craig from Sinister Screen Podcast on both Spotify and Instagram from here in the States. Give us a follow if you feel so inclined. A special thank you to both Ben and Grant for the invite to be part of their spooky project at the most perfect time of the year, Halloween. I'll keep this short and sweet, which is tough for us horror lovers to do when it comes to some of our favorites, and favorites to watch around Halloween. First off is my no-brainer, The Exorcist. Not only the perfect horror movie for the religious horror nut, but also a perfect movie in general. Again, that's a must. Secondly, for me, 1986 Trick or Treat featuring a heavy metal god wreaking havoc and getting revenge in this masterpiece featuring Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons. Please check this out if you haven't already, not to be confused with the Trick or our Treat with the lovable Sam. I'd like to wish everyone a frightful Halloween, and thanks again for the invite. You can find me personally at horror_hockey_forever on Instagram. Please give a follow along. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Hello, horror movie maniacs. Nico Lero here from the Silver Screen Dudes, and I just wanted to share with you the 3 movies I watch around Halloween time that really get me in the mood and give me the chills even to this day. First is quite a new one, and it's the second part of the Conjuring universe, and that's simply because it gave me a revelation. Demon nuns apparently terrify the living hell out of me. The fact that this was set in the UK where I'm from, the fact that this was set just around the corner where I used to live from, really put the chills in me. Second movie is The Exorcist. Come on now, a lot of people say this is the scariest movie of all time. It hasn't aged a bit. It still holds the same chills to this day. And the third one, which a lot of people still haven't seen, is a French movie called Martyrs. It is unwatchable in some parts. It took me 3 watchings to actually get through it start to end. Scared the hell out of me. Those are my 3.
Hi guys, it's Peter here from the Movie Joe podcast. So when I'm getting in the mood for the spooky season for Halloween, I always like to visit the classics. I very much treat the Halloween season like Christmas, looking for those classic Christmas films. I do the same at Halloween. It's the classic horrors, so it's films like The Exorcist or The Wicker Man, and American Werewolf in London. I mean, they're my 3 it's my holy trinity of horror, as well as being very much comfort movies for me as well. So it's a time of the year that I like to delve into some of my favourites.
Right, there we go. So again, quite a mix there from those clips. Cool clips.
Fruit salad.
Fruit salad. Yeah,
a little fruit salad of movie choices.
It. Definitely, I like that. Okay, so let's start with Trick or Treat 86. I'm going to presume that you haven't seen this one.
Nope.
It's quite a fun one. I hadn't even heard of it. But yeah, it's good fun. It starts out kind of generic, like you've got your loner kid at school getting bullied. Because he likes heavy metal.
Oh, well, that's no reason to be bullied, is it?
But then, no, it's not at all. I know. Nothing wrong with heavy metal. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
But then his like idol dies, and he gets hold of the last record that this guy had made. His name's Sammy Kerr, I think. So he gets hold of this record and he plays it backwards, as you do, you know.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, Sammy Kerr comes back to life and starts killing people.
Oh, well, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's called Trick or Treat though.
Just because I can't remember, but I think it's probably set on. He probably comes back on Halloween. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's really good fun. Actually, really well acted. You actually care for the lead character, the guy who's being bullied and stuff. So quite fast paced again. A bit over the top and silly in places, but what do you expect? It's the 80s.
Yeah, true, very true.
And it has a cool cameo from Ozzy Osbourne as well.
I like a bit of Oz.
Yeah, so it's got quite a cool rock soundtrack as well. There's an Outstay Us Welcome. Really good fun. Definitely get it watched around spooky season.
Definitely.
I'm going to mention Martyrs next because this is a film that's been on my list forever, and I still haven't got around to watching it. Sorry, I'm not against French extremity films or extreme horror in general. I in fact quite like it, but it's just one that's always evaded me, unfortunately. So, what about you?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard of it.
You haven't heard of it?
No, never heard of it. But it looks interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's one way of putting it. But no, it is on my list, and I do need to get it watched. So apologies there. I will get that.
Yeah, I like the look of that one.
Yeah, I think this is probably more up your alley than those 80s ones.
Yeah, that one's just from the images. That's grabbing my attention. That one.
There you go. It's tonight's watch for you.
Yeah, I've got to find a copy, but I'm up for that one for sure.
Yeah. And then The Wicker Man. Have you seen The Wicker Man?
Yes, of course. No.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen the Nick Cage one, but that's not worth talking about.
I'm sure. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen this one. Classic movie. Policeman goes to investigate a missing child on an island, ends up sort of getting involved in a cult-like thing, basically.
Well, damn. Happens,
That's a really, really, really quick synopsis. It's got some really odd scenes in it that one in particular that scares the living shit out of me. But that's just because of my stupid phobia, which you know already.
Frogs. Got it.
Yeah, frogs. So there's a scene. Now, why anyone would do this, I don't know. There's a scene where a woman puts a frog in a child's mouth.
It's not a big deal.
That's a dude. That's literally
just a frog. God. Frogs are adorable, man.
I could not cope during that scene, dude. So
I think I'd be all right with it. I love frogs. They're cute. How are you scared of frog?
Just let's move on. So anyway, yeah, very well acted, very creepy, very sinister. A true classic, I would say. I think everyone knows the ending just because the iconography of the Wicker Man itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen that, not just you in particular, Grant, listeners, if you haven't seen that, definitely get that watched. And then American Werewolf in London's come up again. So this is the third time. I think someone's mentioned it now.
Sure.
Yes, I was going to say I already know because of your dislike for werewolf movies.
I just don't like them.
You probably don't get along with this one.
No, I haven't seen it, and I have zero intention to watch it. Sorry.
So again, I would say this is another classic, but it
I
does
get it's a
occasionally
classic. People bring it up all the time, but just no.
Yeah, it does occasionally have a slight odd tone to it. It flips between serious when you've got like the English villager people and then sort of humorous in places. But
Yeah.
but what makes this one stand out for me is the absolute crazy good werewolf transformation scene, basically.
Okay.
All practical effects, and if you just watch that scene alone, it's incredibly well done.
All right, I'll watch that scene.
Yes, and the last sort of 5-10 minutes.
No, I won't do that. That's
where the
too
wolves,
far.
where the wolf's on the rampage, and he's running about in the London underground and all that.
So why is he an American werewolf?
Because the guy's American.
Got it.
There you go.
They do
And
love
he's in
throwing
London.
in American,
And-
don't they?
And he's in London. Would you believe? There you go.
Couldn't have just been called Werewolf in London. Oh no, he's an American werewolf. Is he a really
Yeah, but
patriotic werewolf?
It's
Is that
because
what
he's
it is?
out of his comfort zone, and he wanders into the English pub at the start, the Slaughtered Lamb, and obviously straight away you can tell, the English locals are a bit like, who's this guy?
Exactly, and so they should be.
So, but no,
He ends up being a bloody werewolf.
I do agree. It's a classic. Moving on to another. No, I was going to say moving on to another classic, but this one isn't a classic.
It might be.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not bad, but it's not classic. Conjuring 2.
Oh, well, I mean, I like the Conjuring movies a lot.
I had only, up until recently, seen the first one.
Is the Conjuring 2 the one that's set in that London? It's set in London.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this one.
A huge fan? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is way better than the first one.
What appeals about this one?
I mean, obviously, I like the setting. I love it being in England. It's a nice change.
Yeah.
Quite relatable, but not entirely. But just the sort of council house London type vibes. That's very familiar to myself.
Yeah.
And I just think it was creepy AF.
Yeah,
And I enjoyed it.
I agree. I like the setting and the creepiness. It's definitely there. I think for the first half of the film, I think it loses it a bit in the second half, but especially when what's his name, Patrick Wilson starts singing Elvis.
Well, yeah, at this moments, yeah.
But it's got some good scares, I thought, and it's based on the Enfield haunting, isn't it? So it's a real case, which I always like.
It's just really well done.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was just slightly above average. I'd say it's a good watch, but I couldn't see myself watching it again.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's introduced us to, though, the nun.
Yeah, I remember that being quite terrifying in the lounge at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say
Bedroom
Valak the
floor.
nun, who is actually really well used in it. You don't see her that much.
No. And then they end
But
up
when
making a
you-
whole bloody movie about her.
Yeah, I was going to say, but when you do see her in The Conjuring 2, she is fairly creepy.
Yeah, she is scary in that.
I haven't seen The Nun or The Nun 2, and I've got no intention of watching them.
Don't bother, it's fucking garbage.
That's what I've heard. So I don't want
If
to.
you're going to watch a scary nun film, watch Immaculate.
Yeah, that's decent. I've seen that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but I also, the Crooked Man is in this as well, isn't he? They keep playing that crooked house, crooked man nursery rhyme thing, and then you actually see the Crooked Man. Again, I'm not sure it needed the Crooked Man in it.
No, but it did make it when I read that to my children, The Crooked Man, it was in a random book or whatever, it made me a little bit nervous. Reading the kids' bloody fairy tale thing. Nursery
Yeah,
rhyme.
don't get me wrong. I liked using the song and the creepiness, but when you actually see him, I was kind of a bit like, "What? Wow, what?" that's a bit like strange, but not scary. Just seemed really weird.
It's a bit
and out of
odd.
place. Yeah, just a bit odd. So, Crooked Man let me down for me, but the Nun brought it back up a little bit. There you go.
But that's fair.
Good, thank you. So let's move on to an actual classic, which is also a religious horror, The Exorcist.
Damn straight, that's a classic.
Good. I'm glad you agree. I was a bit worried there that you're going to go, nah, pile of rubbish.
How could you not like The Exorcist? It's like The Godfather for me. It's like the film that got me into horrors.
Nice. Yeah, it is an absolutely phenomenal horror film, isn't it? So
Yeah, and I love pretty much all of the spin-offs. Not spin-offs, but sorry, sequels and stuff like that. I like the majority of them.
I was going to come on to those in a bit. I haven't seen all of them, but for a mo, before we delve into those briefly, should we just chat about the original.
For real?
So can you remember when you first saw this?
No, I was young though, very young. Maybe like 8 or 9, maybe.
Yeah, because I can't either, but I think I was kind of youngish, and it still holds up to this day.
Yeah,
in
it's
my
horrible. I
opinion.
remember clicking on it and then being terrified to watch it, but then knowing it was there and wanting to go back and watch. It's like one of those things you can't look away type things.
Yeah, that's it. I
And,
think again,
yeah,
a bit like The Shining, it has that overall sense of dread throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
And it does have some really scary scenes. So I've seen the unrated one as well, which adds
yeah.
an extra scare in it. So there's a scene where Reagan does like a weird spider walk thing down the stairs.
Oh.
So if you haven't seen that, I think the clip's probably on YouTube. So
Yeah, I
have a
haven't
look at
seen
that.
it.
That's pretty creepy. But I mean, you've got loads of other scary scenes, haven't you? The twisting of the head all the way around.
Yeah. The lovely dialogue with the priest and his mother.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Sucks something in hell, let's say.
Yeah.
And the bit where you got "Help Me" carved on her stomach. You've got
Yeah. It's a bit gooey as well, isn't it?
yeah, definitely a bit gooey. The eyes, the face, Reagan's face and eyes when she is fully possessed used to scare me rigid as well.
Oh, yeah, that's what I looked at. That's what I first saw when I turned it on. That was too much
Yeah.
for me, man.
Yeah,
And even the front cover, the priest outside the house with the light shining through, it's just so iconic.
Yeah, I agree. It's really, really ominous, isn't it? Just seeing him staring into the house.
Yeah, so simple, but my God, it works.
Yeah, but I think everything about this film works. The music is obviously top class.
Yep.
Yeah, the acting's great. It's just a top class film.
It's a
basically.
bloody good time, is what it is.
Yeah, and I think it was probably one of the original films, if not the original, where people were like running up the cinema, throwing up, fainting.
Well, I can appreciate that because it was terrifying.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure this was the first film where there was reports of that happening. So, I mean, now we get
Well, I
it
get
every
it
week.
though. That's fair.
You know, every time a new horror comes out now, it's like, oh, it's the scariest thing you've ever seen. 10,000 people have passed out, and you go and watch it, and it's like, what?
Yeah, it's
No,
like
they
Terrifier
didn't.
3, and I don't remember it being that bad.
No, but we did have 3 people walk out when we saw that.
Yeah, but when they walked in, we thought, what on earth are you doing here? Now, I'm not judging a book by its cover, but I could tell that these guys had walked into the wrong screening.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were in for, did they?
And very swiftly left.
Yes. Right, but yeah, Exorcist sequels then. I haven't seen 2 or 3.
No, I haven't.
So I've heard 3's decent, but I saw Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Not long ago, and this is the one that everyone says is the worst film like ever made.
I mean, I don't agree with that.
Is that just because it has the Exorcist tag on it, do you reckon?
I don't know. I didn't mind it. It wasn't amazing, but it was all right.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I didn't mind it. It doesn't obviously live up to the Exorcist name. Of course it doesn't.
No, of course it doesn't. No.
But I was thinking if it wasn't called Exorcist Believer, if it was just called some other possession title, I don't actually think it would have been a bad movie.
No. I mean, but again, I don't really hold on to originals that dearly like a lot of people do.
Right.
So I didn't really care that it was called. I just watched a movie. Did I enjoy it? And I did.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know if these are linked because there's so many bloody things, but Emily Rose one, that was top notch in my opinion.
That's a great possession film. Yeah, they're not linked, but that's its own standalone thing.
Yeah,
But,
it's hard to
you're
bloody
right.
keep track in it, but The Exorcism of Emily Rose was an amazing movie.
Movie. That's it.
The Russell
I would
Crowe
agree.
Exorcist was a bit meh.
What's that? The Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah, that was it, but it was all right.
I watched that when I was really, really drunk, so I can only remember parts. But from
Did you like it?
From what I remember, it was quite fun. Yeah,
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe doing an Italian accent, so it was a good time.
yeah, it's making me laugh quite a bit. But
Yeah.
it was good.
It was
fun.
all right.
Right, yeah. So Exorcist. If you haven't seen The Exorcist by now and you're a horror fan,
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's like me
if
and The
you haven't-
Shining.
If you haven't, get it to the top of your list. Give it a watch. Absolute stone cold classic horror.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, there you go, guys. Thank you very much for listening to the end to part 1.
Yes, thank
that's
you.
the end of part 1. There will be multiple parts to this podcast as we've got so much to talk about. So
There's going to be a few.
yeah, so thank
That's
you
a
very
good
much.
time. It's Halloween.
Exactly. Big thanks to everyone that sent us clips. We couldn't
Yes,
have done
thank
this
you.
obviously without you guys. Didn't realise we'd get quite so many. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone who sent clips our way.
Yeah, we definitely didn't plan ahead properly, did we? But thank you so much. It was amazing.
We'll catch you in part 2. Thanks for listening.
Bye.